Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the administration and athletic staff of Eastern Illinois University and the Illinois High School Association, welcome to the 2013 Boys State Track and Field Final Meet. This is a final call for the 4x800 meters, final call 4x800 meters. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to please rise and face the colors of the United States in honor of those serving to perfect and protect our freedoms both here and abroad. And in recognition of America, please join the Charleston Men's Barbershop Quartet as they sing our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The Charleston High School Men's Barbershop Quartet. You'll see them on the field in just a moment. And now, it is my honor to introduce to you the Assistant Executive Director of the Illinois High School Association, the Administrator in charge of track and field and cross country in Illinois, Mr. Ron McGraw.
Good morning. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association, it is my pleasure to welcome you all here this morning. We appreciate you coming out on this cool, brisk morning to support these young men who have worked so hard to find themselves as participants in the 2013 IHSA Boys Track and Field Championships. We know that you will encourage them all in a positive way. Our sportsmanship will be exemplary today, just as they deserve. It is our custom at this time for the meet referee to read a sportsmanship statement, so I'll introduce to you our meet referee, Pete Struck from Frankfort.
The Illinois High School Association requires officials to enforce sportsmanship rules. Athletes, coaches, officials, and spectators all have a part to play in this process. High school athletics emphasize the positive values we all worked hard to create: a sense of teamwork, respect, responsibility, and perspective. All attributes of good sportsmanship shared by competitors who demonstrate this good behavior. We encourage and appreciate your assistance in promoting sportsmanship, and we hope this competition will reflect the mutual respect of all parties. Good luck and have a great meet.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our privilege to be here at Eastern Illinois University at O'Brien Stadium. For those of you who have been here before, you'll recognize that the stadium is brand new. We're running on a brand new track. Our field events are all being contested on brand new facilities, and for Eastern Illinois University allowing us to be here, we appreciate that. The young ladies last week set many state records. The track is fast. We have a good field of young men racing here this weekend, so I anticipate a little bit of the same. I would like to do two things here. One, I would like to introduce to you, or at least show you, the young men that you saw sing a minute ago. There's a little bit of feedback here on the microphone. It's very difficult to do what they do anywhere, but certainly this makes it harder. So if you would join me in thanking these young men from Charleston High School who sang our national anthem this morning, I'd appreciate it.
We need Tom Edwards to the clerk's tent, please. Tom Edwards to the clerk's tent.
Finally, let me mention, because it's appropriate, I believe, given the weather in Charleston, and certainly today is no exception, we don't know what we're going to get. Should there be any need for us to alert you that there would be lightning in the area today, we will alert you to that fact and require that you leave the stadium during that period of time and go to your cars. You'll be alerted then as to when it's safe to return, but I wanted to mention that given the nature of today, we don't know what we're going to get. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I will turn it over to our PA announcer. Our first race on the track this morning will be our 4x800 relay. They're in the tent, ready to race. We'll be on the track in just a few minutes. Have a wonderful day.
And let's welcome them on to the track. This is heat number 1 of the preliminaries, 4x800 meters. Here's the field of competition, and they'll be set up in super alleys, 2 super alleys. In position number 3, it is the Trojans of Dwight. In 4, the Falcons of Gibson City, Melvin Sibley in Ford County. The Spartans of St. Joe Ogden in 5. In position number 6, DMAC, Deer Creek Mackinac in 6. Carterville, the Lions in 9. Fairfield, the Wolves in 10. In 11, Lyle Senior High School, the Robinson Maroons in 12, and the Sabres of the High School of St. Thomas More, Champaign, will be in 13. They are the leaders into this race from the sectionals. St. Thomas More's time in this event, 3rd best in the state, with a mark of 8:19:50. And we will go to the starter. The lead officials involved today include the meet manager is John Polka of Oak Park Fenwick, Chicago. The coordinator of officials, Mr. Geza Ehrentrue of Rockford. The meet referee is Peter Struck of Frankfort in Will County. Head field event referee is Don Hackler of Ridge Farm. Assistant referee for competition, Richard Skirball of Granite City. For conflicts, the assistant referee is Roger Brown. The Class 1A starter is Galen Bennett of Byron. And the early leader here is Semenska of DMAC. On the outside with him, you have Nick Hess of St. Thomas More. And that looks like Lyle moving up. And I believe that is the team, white over black. 375 for Lyle is Jeff Chan. And he takes the lead after 400-plus meters. Coming through the south curve and onto the back stretch, it is Chan and Hess and Semenska. You're 1, 2, 3. That looks like Dwight in the 5 position. And St. Joe Ogden battling DMAC for 3rd. Hess now to the lead in front of Chan as they come through the north curve in the scoreboard. And there is St. Joe Ogden in 3. Your leader, though, is Hess and the Sabres of St. Thomas More. St. Joe coming on strong, trying to get into 2nd. Sean Kelly takes the baton for St. Thomas More. St. Joe Ogden in the 2 position. Lyle in 3. Clayton Nigg for St. Joe Ogden. And Alex Lang for Lyle. St. Thomas More, the 1A team champion in cross country. Last fall at Detweiler Park, he hit the rail, stumbling for a second. Sean Kelly is your leader. But St. Thomas More, building a program step by step and year by year. And we see them at the top of distance running in Illinois now in Class 1A. First in cross country and now here. Just on a 3-minute mark. Halfway through this second leg with Kelly leading. That is Nig for St. Joseph Ogden in the 2 spot. Third place is Lyle. Alex Lang, that's a freshman in the white over black for Lyle. And then we have Dwight and D-Mac. And the next group, that looks like the Robinson Maroons. We've got Blake Hale running for Robinson, accomplished cross-country runner, all-stater in his senior year. But we go to the next exchange, and it's still the high school of St. Thomas More. Just past 4 minutes.
The third runner for St. Thomas More is Helfrich.
Jacob Helfrich, a senior, is your leader for St. Thomas More. Next in is St. Joe Ogden. Knifer, the senior, runs second for St. Joe Ogden. Lyle is still in third. For Lyle, that is Buchtelt for the Lions. Helfrich with the lead for the Sabres. Knifer next for St. Joe. And then for Lyle, that is Buchtelt. D-Mac runs fourth. And then Robinson, I believe, has moved up on Dwight. We also see Carterville in the second half of the race there. Leaders are approximately 200 meters ahead of the end of the race. That was Lowry for D-Mac. Now, here we go, heading for the anchors. Helfrich running very strong here, approaching the 6-minute mark, almost 2-minute 800s here for your leader.
Sam Powers, anchor.
And Powers is the anchor. He takes it at the 6:06 mark. And your record 7:53.69, tremendous race to have watched in 2006 by Monticello. All right, St. Joe is still in second. And then quite a gap to third. Lyle and D-Mac now battle for third. Sam Powers approaching the bell. Running for St. Joseph Ogden is Cole Johnson. And he is past the break line now, and Have about 50 meters between the two of them. St. Thomas More. Sam Powers. Coming around the curve. St. Joseph Ogden now trying to hook into it for time, because that's how they're going to qualify. Because this win looks like St. Thomas More in our first race of 3. 8:09 for St. Thomas More. Then St. Joe Ogden, DMAC, and Lyle. Here are the times coming across our scoreboard. 8:09.70 for St. Thomas More, 8:12.75 St. Joe, 8:20.63 DMAC, 8:22.79 is the fourth place for Lyle. And the battle is on for fifth. Robinson tries to clip them at the line. It's Robinson, then Dwight. That's at 8:41 for the Maroons. And then 8:41.49 for Dwight. Just scoots by the Trojans. Fairfield is next at an 8:47.20. Gibson City 8:50.06. And here's Carterville. The Lions will finish 9:06. Here's race number 2 onto the track. And the field of competition will include the Rams, Shelbyville in position 3. Litchfield, the Panthers from down Route 16 will be in the 4. Sterling Newman Central Catholic is in 5. Monmouth Roseville is in 6. Nashville, the Hornets, will be in alley number 2, position 9, with Mendon Unity. The Westmont Sentinels. Toledo, the Pirates from Cumberland, will be out in 12. And your leaders from the sectional in this race, the Oregon Hawks, in position 13. Oregon, 8:15.81 out of the sectional.
Lead up for Oregon is Garrett Newman.
Clean start. Your two leaders here, of course, we said Oregon and then Monmouth Roseville. They're in the leader position in alley 1. They're in the middle of the track. And everybody passed the break. And so the battle, Garrett Newman on the outside for Oregon. And then Bertelson on the inside for Monmouth Roseville. They pass behind the scoreboard. And as they complete the north curve, there is Oregon. And then the Titans of Monmouth Roseville. That should be Newman Central Catholic. They're going to be a factor in the team race here in Class 1A today. And there's Shelbyville swinging to the front. That is Miles 4, a senior running for the Rams.
Announcer.
Coach from Fairfield to the dugout, please. Coach from Fairfield Co-op to the dugout. On the back stretch, Shelbyville has the rail. And Sterling, that's 4, now is passed by Sterling. The Forest for Newman. Oregon sweeping to the outside. Garrett Newman trying to sweep into first place. Looks like he's got it on that high arc. And here comes the Sentinels of Westmont into the picture. Westmont moves up into the 2 position on that move from the north curve. And the first handoff is to Oregon, right at the 2-minute mark.
Oregon is Burkhart.
That's Burkhart, Austin Burkhart, for the Hawks. Westmont is now in second.
Second runner is
Strobel, Nick Strobel running for the Sentinels. And now it looks like Monmouth Roseville finding the outside and into second. Braden Woolbrink has the lead for the Titans. Monmouth Roseville out there in far northwestern Illinois, close to Iowa. Monmouth Roseville in the lead. Here's Westmont and Shelbyville pushing. Your leader group is Oregon, Westmont, Shelbyville, and Sterling. Newman Central Catholic. Woolbrink for Monmouth. Flight 2 of the triple jump report. Flight 2 of the triple jump report.
The Oregon second runner is Burkhart. Austin
Burkhart, he's in third right now. And for Monmouth Roseville, again, they still have Woolbrink.
Is that Shelbyville second?
And second place is Shelbyville, and they're trying to gain.
Drennan
Martin. Martin making a move, and he has Woolbrink now and has taken the lead as they hit the rail for the North Curve. Shelbyville in position now. Martin for the Rams. Shelbyville has been building their distance program the last couple of years. Flight 3, triple jump report to the North Pit. It's Shelbyville, Monmouth, Roseville, Oregon, and Westmont.
Now Neil Yockey from Shelbyville.
Yockey for Shelbyville has the baton. The second place is Monmouth Roseville. That's Peroda running for Monmouth. Third is Oregon.
Oregon's third runner is Weller.
That's Weller for the Hawks. The Hawks with an 8:15.81. They were second best in the state out of the sectionals, but they're third right here with Shelbyville running strong into the North Curve. Yockey. On to the home stretch. 4:49, 4:50. He may hit the line at the 5-minute mark. Everybody staying at that 2-minute 800. 58, 59. There's 5 minutes. He's just behind at a 5:02. Yockey on his final 400. Monmouth Roseville is second.
Monmouth Roseville is Devin Clark.
Devin Clark, the senior, in second place. D-Mac is third. Coach from Fairfield to the clerk's tent. Coach from Fairfield to the clerk's tent. It's still Shelbyville's race here.
Monmouth has 2 threes, so I got to find out who.
I believe this is still Yockey running for the Rams. Race is slowed down a hair. He'll be well past 6 minutes when he hits.
This is Clark coming now for Monmouth.
Clark coming in for Monmouth. Here you go with the anchors.
That's Powers for Shelbyville.
Powers for Shelbyville at the 6:08 mark.
Monmouth's runner.
And Devin Clark now with the baton for Roseville.
The red was Oregon, right?
And Oregon is third, challenging for second. Trevor Otten on the back stretch now and looking for a straightaway to gain on Monmouth Roseville. There's Cumberland making the pass of the baton. And I believe this is Nashville coming around. Your leader's right now. Here he is. This is Shelbyville.
That is Corey Powers.
That's Corey Powers. running for the Rams. Battle is on for second between Monmouth and Oregon.
Monmouth is Devin Clark.
Devin Clark for Monmouth.
Oregon is Trevor Otten.
That's Otten for the Hawks. Your leader halfway through the south curve. And we're at 7:19. Corey Powers for Shelbyville. On to the back stretch. Devin Clark for Monmouth. And Otten for Oregon. Westmont is in the 4 position. That is Christopher Pierce for the Sentinels. And next in is Sterling. Trancoso running for Newman Central Catholic. And here they come home, 8:01, 8:02. It looks like Shelbyville, Corey Powers, but here comes Oregon pushing Monmouth. Devin Clark will hit the line second, and Trevor Otten will be third. Here comes Trancoso for 4th place, and Newman working against the clock now. And there is Westmont in next. 4 position is Litchfield. The Panthers head for the finish line. And now on to the straightaway is Mendon Unity. And now race number 3. Call for the 4x100 to the tent. Call for the 4x100 to the tent. First call. Here's your field of competition in lane number 2. It's Mooseheart. In 3 from Iroquois County, Watseka. In 3, Liberty, far southern Illinois in 4. Then the Sparta Bulldogs will be in 5. Elmwood, Co-op, the Trojans in 6. Macon Meridian is in 9. The Hawks in 9, beginning of Alley 2. Carlinville, the Cavaliers will be in 10. The Storm of Bureau Valley in position 11. The Cardinals of Pleasant Plains, Sangamon County in 12. And here is the state best out of the sectional, the Byron Tigers. With an 8:13.19, Byron will be out in position 13, orange over black. We go to the starter. Again, we have had first call on the 4x100s to the tent. First call, 4x100s. We're going to make this second call now. Second call, 4x100s. And it looks like Byron has slipped into the lead. Let's check that. That might be Elmwood. 2:34 is Atkins is the leader for the Elmwood Trojans. And behind Elmwood right now, we have Sparta, Byron in 3rd, Pleasant Plains in 4th. This is Zach Hall of Sparta in the 2 spot. Behind Elmwood's Atkins. The 3 is Byron, that's TJ Pitcock. The 4 is Pleasant Plains. That's Mitch Johnson running for Pleasant Plains. Tight field after the first 400 and through the south curve. All right, we've got Sparta moving up into the lead for this first exchange. That's Zach Hall battling TJ Pitcock. That's at Byron, and Byron gets the exchange at the 2:03 mark. That's Nate 4 for the Byron Tigers. He's the 2 spot. And then for Sparta, that's Barnett running for the Bulldogs from southwestern Illinois. And very tight in the third. That should be Pleasant Plains in the 3 mark for the Cardinals. That's Montgomery for Pleasant Plains. And the 4 spot is a battle right now. You've got Elmwood back into them. Armbruster. Yes, Armbruster. Ian is the runner for Elmwood. Mobley of Aurora Christian report the horizontal jumps. Bureau Valley, the Storm, is all alone. That's Smith for the Storm. And then Carlinville and Meridian come up next. But your leader right now is competitor 58 for the Byron Tigers. That is Nate 4. Although Pleasant Sparta staying with them within striking distance. Sparta is Barnett. Is that Moosehart in the 3 spot? Moosehart now has Elmwood passing them on the outside. That is Schwartz for Moosehart. Let's come around here into the north curve, and let's reset your leaders. Byron, Sparta, Elmwood, Liberty, and Pleasant Plains. Liberty. That's Nate 4 for Byron and Sparta. Barnett. 4 and Barnett. Elmwood, Liberty, Pleasant Plains is the rest of the group coming across. 4:09 mark. Byron in the lead. Austin McCary. Call again for the 4x100 to the tent. Sparta still in second. Hagne, Hagney in there for Sparta. Pleasant Plains making a move on Liberty. Plunkett, and now he's taking on Elmwood, moving up, trying to get into the 3 position. Plunkett for Pleasant Plains. He does have third. Approaching 5 minutes. It's still the Byron Tigers. And McCary. And Pleasant Plains looks for second. That's Plunkett. Battling Sparta. Liberty right behind. Then Elmwood. That's Brinkman for Liberty. And Elmwood.
Elmwood is
Osmowski. For the Trojans. Osmolski. Again, the meet schedule will move one event to the next. This is a call on the 4x100. Competitors 4x100 report. We will be bringing out the 4x100 at the completion of this race. And here at the 6:10 mark, we head to the anchors. Your leader, Byron. Jackson Hulsmer. Then Elmwood sits into second.
Elmwood is
Reichenegger in there for Elmwood. And then Liberty is in third. For Liberty, you have Schrakey. Evan Schrakey, your leader still Byron. As the Tigers head to the north curve here on the anchor leg. Jackson Halsmer, a senior for Byron. Elmwood right behind.
Ryan,
Schrakey
yeah, okay. Reichenegger?
for
Reichenegger,
Elmwood. This is Reichenegger. And then in third is Liberty Schrakey. First call, flight 2, high jump. First call, flight 2, high jump. We are in the bell lap. And Byron still holding the lead. Jackson Halsmer. Elmwood is second. Reichenegger is second. He took the baton from Osmolski. Third now is Sparta. Dylan Uther for Sparta. And our leader approaches the home stretch. Jackson Halsmer. And it looks like Byron will be the third qualifier for Saturday. 8:10, 8:11, 8:12. They're right there at their sectional time. Call it 8:15 and change. Then Elmwood is second, Sparta third, Pleasant Plains fourth, followed by Liberty. And the Byron Tigers have an 8:15.64 on the board. Then Elmwood next with an 8:20.29. Sparta 8:22.91. Pleasant Plains 8:22.90. Call that Sparta 8:22.91, 8:24.91 for Pleasant Plains. 2 seconds behind. 8:25.35 is Liberty. 8:36.01 Bureau Valley. This is preliminary 1 of 4 for event number 8, the 4x100 meter relay. Here's your field of competition. Lane 2 will be Gibson City, Melvin Sibley. Taylor Ridge, Rock Ridge in 3. Mercer County from Aledo will be in 4. In the middle here will be the Leo Lions from Chicago's Leo Catholic in the middle. Rockford Lutheran in 6. Knoxville in 7. Flanagan Cornell in 8, and South Holland Seton Academy out in lane number 9. This is the first of 4. Your record is 42-13, sent by Heron 3 years ago.
David Fry's leading off for Leo.
All right, watch Chicago Leo in the middle, the defending Class 1A team champion. There's Leo. Watch the exchange. They're underway.
Hopkins for Leo. Second runner.
Hopkins for Leo, and he's moving forward. The Lions in command of the middle of the track. And a poor exchange. The Lions get it underway. They still have the lead. Corey Pryor in there for Leo, and now we go to the anchors.
Marlon Britton.
This is Marlon Britton. Now lane 8, we got a battle with Flanagan Cornell, and then you've got Walkford Lutheran, and Lutheran is going to take it. Roby for Lutheran. Wow, come from behind on the anchor. Heat number 2 onto the track. Here we have the Minutemen of Lexington in 2. The Moments Redskins in 3. Pleasant Plains in 4. The Cardinals in 4. Eureka in the middle of this race. The Hornets from Woodford County, they're in 5. Madison from across the river from St. Louis. Madison in 6. Oregon, the Hawks in 7. The Neoga Indians, Cumberland County in 8, and Sparta, the Bulldogs, out in 9. Eureka wearing white over green. Brett Charlton leading off for Eureka. Leo had a 43-40 coming into the race from the sectionals. Rockford Lutheran right behind them out of the sectionals, so the result not surprising. 43-17 Eureka, and that's where the Hornets will sit in this race. We will go to the starter. All right. In the middle here is Eureka.
Kevin Carroll from St. Thomas More.
There's Carroll from St. Thomas More. Eureka is Charlton. Coach from Seton. Clerk's tent. Dan Johnson out there. Let's watch the exchange. It's Eureka.
30s.
Schmegdahl running for Eureka. They're even with Oregon right now. So there we go. And the advantage is to Eureka.
McKee for Eureka.
McKee from Eureka. Oregon on the outside. Newman on the outside for Oregon. It is Eureka with the win. Just at about the 44 mark. Umpire, please report to the high jump. We need an umpire report to the high jump. So the time in this one, the win to the Eureka Hornets, 43-43. Oregon is second, 43-85. Pleasant Plains with a 44-37 in third. Sparta right there with them at a 44-65.
This will have all 9 lanes. In 1 is KZ Westfield. Lane 2, Newton. Lane 3 is Catlin Co-op. Cambridge in 4, Erie in 5. Erie Prophetstown in 5. Monmouth Roseville in 6. Shelbyville from just down the road in 7. Trenton Westglen in 8. And Carterville in 9. The Lions of Carterville in lane number 9. Heat 3 of 4, preliminaries 4x100 meter relay, Class A. Darius Owens is leading off for Erie Co-op. He's a senior.
Coming out of the sectional, 42.80.
Their seed time was 42.86 from the sectional. That was the second fastest in Class A from the sectionals. So look for them in the middle of the track. Cambridge and Monmouth, your next two seeds, and fanning outward.
Let's make a call.
110-meter high hurdlers, please report to the clerk's tent. Coach from Madison High School, please report to the clerk's tent. Madison High School. And Lexington High School as well. Please report to the clerk's tent. Again, 110-meter high hurdles. First call to the tent. And we're off and underway on the first leg. Around the south corner, it's Darius Owens there from Erie. Looks fairly even among the three teams in the middle. That's Cambridge, Monmouth, Roseville, and Erie. And we have a fall. Hopefully it was the incoming runner, and it was. We're good. We still have all 9 on the track there on the outside. Believe that to be... It's still Erie, Monmouth, and Cambridge now. Devin Johnson is the anchor for Erie.
All right, Erie, and then Monmouth on the outside.
Monmouth is on the outside, and on the inside there is Cambridge coming up to challenge for second.
5-4.
That's Erie and Cambridge, and then Monmouth Roseville, 5-4-6, the unofficial order of finish. This fourth heat features your sectional leader. That's Sterling Newman Central in lane number 5, 42.8. is their seed time. And in lane number 1 is Carthage. Lane 2, Jacksonville, Illinois School for the Deaf. Aurora Christian in 3. Piasa Southwestern in 4. Sterling Newman Central in 5. Staunton in 6. Carlinville in 7. Tolono Unity in 8. And Anna Jonesboro in 9. Here we go. We've got Brady Rude, a freshman, leading off for Sterling Newman Central Catholic. Blake Kinder for Staunton. J.P. Mueller of Piasaw. Rude on the outside there. That's Bittner, Mason Bittner, a senior with the baton. He is definitely moving out here, pulling away from the field. Rockwood there. That's Tyler Rockwood about to hand off to the other Rude brother, Nick Rude. The football relay here, taking it to him. Here they come. Look at this lead, folks. This is your state leading team. Staunton on the outside, Piasaw on the inside, and Aurora coming up now. But on the outside there is Carlinville, fading barely at the end. Sterling showing you why they are the top team in the state. They are a 42-77.
And it is 12 noon here in Charleston, Illinois. 12 noon at this preliminary day of the 1A State Championships in boys track and field. All right, in the middle here is Josh Kirby of Peoria Christian. With him is Drew Crook of Gillespie. In 4, it's Alan Cook of Moments. Right now you got Kirby, 5 and 4. That's Kirby and Cook of Moments. And into the win here is 5-4. Josh Kirby with the apparent win, followed by Alan Cook of Moments. Kirby the win, 15-26. Luke McConnell of Shelbyville in 2. Mitchell Barton, Pittsfield in 3. Vaughn Gensler, Paxton Buckley Loader in 4. In the middle here is Brady Crane, Rushville Industry in 5. Ryan Ambule of the Vandalia Vandals in 6. Nick Matthews, Fairfield in 7. Jordan Eilders, Lena Winslow, Far Northern Illinois in 8. Phil Sakenga has the record in this, 1393 from the year 1997. That's Timothy Christian. In the 110 hurdles, your sectional best is Peyton Holmes of Mercer County with a 1503. Here we have Crane of Rushville Industry in the middle. He had a 1523. We'll go to the starter for race number 2. Again, you've got Brady Crane in the middle for Rushville Industry. They're in the yellow and white. That's Rushville. 5 and 6 is Crane and Ambule of Vandalia. And we just lost Crane. So now it's going to be Vandalia with the win. 6-4-7. Bad break for Brady Crane. 6-4-7. Matthews of Fairfield, the apparent. We've got to look at the way the board settles this. Ambule with a 1541. Gensler of Paxton Buckley Loda, 1584. Matthews next of Fairfield in 3. We are under a yellow flag in this race. Thers will be out in 2. Nick Rizzotti of Lyle Senior in 3. Jason Blyven, Trenton Westland in 4. Marlon Britton will be in the middle for Chicago. Leo Catholic in 6. Spencer Cooper, Bushnell, Prairie City. In 7, Dawson White of Minonk Fieldcrest. In 8, Tommy Lovett, the Seneca Irish. And in the middle is Marlon Britton. And we saw him on the anchor of the 4x1. It's going to be Marlon Britton and the Lions. 5-4-3 in this race. Britton, Blyven, and Rizzotti. Looks like a injured runner there is Cooper for Bushnell Prairie City. 1461 for Britton. A 6/10 improvement for Britton's. A nice win for Britton in there for Leo. Here's the field. We got Vienna and Trent Lowry in 2. Austin Maps, Ducoin in 3. Dylan Schultz, Orion in 4. Peyton Holmes, Mercer County, your state best out of the sectionals in the middle. Tyler Rubarts, Paxton Buckley Loda in 6. Brian Kraft, Polo in 7. Eric Lauter of the Staunton Bulldogs out in 8. Again, final call on the 100 dash.
Is it Orion? It is Orion?
Yeah. Where things are.
How about Argenta
River, the
Orion?
school's next to.
All right, again in the middle here, watch Peyton Holmes. He's competitor number 3 from Mercer County, Aledo. And they're gaining on his left. It's Schultz and Maps. 5-3-4. It's the left-hand side. It's Holmes, followed by Maps and Schultz, and then Rubarts and Kraft. And 1497, the win to Peyton Holmes. Mercer County, Aledo. All right, hurdle screw, thank you very much. Good job. And now heading into position, here are the 100 dash competitors. There are 4 heats. Again, it's the 4 winners plus the next 5 times that make it to Saturday. Devontae Johnson, we have a Cairo Pirate in this race for the first time in many years. Devontae Johnson in 2 for Cairo. BJ Bailey, Reed Custer of Braidwood, the Comets in 3. Ryan Geckin of Piasaw Southwestern in 4. Martell Hunter, Monmouth Roseville will be in 5. Derek Williamson of the Neoga Indians in 6. Terrence Roby, Rockford Lutheran in 7. And then Corey Allen, Peoria Christian in 8. Let's call the 800-meter runners to the tent. 800 meters to the tent. So again, it'll be the 4 winners plus the next 5 best in time. Nick Rude we'll see in the last race. He's got a 10:79 for Newman Central Catholic. The state record, Lubitsch Graves of Cairo. That's what also brought this to mind about the pilots. Had a 10:47 back in 1990 in this race. Lubitsch Graves, Cairo. Again, Martell Hunter in the middle. That's Monmouth Rose. There's Johnson running well for Cairo. And then 7 is Roby of Rockford Lutheran. Very close in the middle with Martell Hunter. And the win at a 10:92. Hunter with a 10:92. We saw him in the 4x100 earlier, just nip Chicago Leo. Austin McKee, Eureka, will be in 2. Tevin Sellers, Lena Winslow, the Panthers in 3. Zach Weisenbarn, Paxton Buckley Loda, their Ford County in 4. Eli Miller of Shelbyville in the middle. Carvel Dixon of Madison will challenge him on the outside. Dwayne Esper of the Illinois School for the Deaf, Jacksonville in 7. Justin Morgan, DuQuoin, out in 8. And Eli Miller of Shelbyville. No, on the outside you got Madison's Carvel Dixon. That is Dixon there in the all green for Madison. 6.53. Miller tries to hold with Carvel Dixon. The win to Madison with an 11 flat. Miller is second for Shelbyville. Jacob Scholl, Carthage, Illini West, Hancock County in 2. Devon Laubscher, Cissna Park. In 3, Andre McGill, Madison. We'll see Madison in this race as well. In 4, Mason Bittner, Sterling Newman Central Catholic. First of the 2 Newmans that we'll see in the middle here for the rest of the field. Brent Albertson of Flanagan Cornell. In 6, Nick Hedges of Catlin. In 7, Charvel Austin, Sparta. In 8, and Dylan Johnson of the Newton Eagles. In Jasper County, out in 9. Field referee, please report to the pole vault. Bittner, a 1086. His teammate Rude in the next race with a 1079. They lead the state here in the 100 dash. Newman Central.
Very dry at this end.
Clean start, Mason Bittner. And there is Sterling right there with McGill of Madison. Bittner and McGill. Bittner will take it, and then we're going to see who comes in second because everybody came together behind Bittner. Bittner with an 11:02, then Hedges of Catlin with an 11:14. Hedges was in 7. Race number 4. This is the 100 dash. Again, Nick Rude will be in the middle for Newman Central Catholic of Sterling. Here's the rest of the field. Tim Dahl of Westmont in 2. Joe Morrow, Hales Franciscan from the south side of Chicago. In 3, Nathan Flippinger, Mercer County. He's competitor number 2 in the field. Flippinger, Mercer County in 4. Micah Johnson will be outside of Rude for the Tolono Unity Rockets. In 6, Nick Hundley of Moments. Hundley in 7, Matt Bigelow, Carterville in 8, and Garrett Blagrave of the Robinson Maroons. He's a freshman here for his first state meet in 9. All right, across the middle, kind of, there's Flippinger trying to challenge Rude. Rude trying to come back. It's going to be Rude by a whisker. Rude with the win, followed by Flippinger. Let's see how the clock picked it up. Ladies and gentlemen, now on the track, it's the first of 3 preliminaries in the 800-meter run. Here, and we'll introduce the field after the start of the race. We're going to put a call in for the 4x2 right now. Call for the 4x200 meters to the tent. This is heat number 1 of 3 of the 800-meter run. There's only 15 minutes remaining to weigh in discus. 15 minutes remain to the weigh-in of discus. John Polka, Ron McGraw to the dugout. John Polka, Ron McGraw to the dugout. We'll go to the starter. This is race number 1 of 3, the 800-meter run. And here we go. Cade Martins of Hayworth will be in 2. Alex DeForest, Sterling Newman Central in 3. Mitch Owens of Williamsville in 4. Miles 4, Shelbyville. We saw him for the 4x8 earlier in 5. Ty Southern and of Toledo Cumberland in 6. Justin Hughes is your early leader for the Marcos of Polo. There they are, Polo in the yellow over blue. McLeansboro, Hamilton County's Will Danielson in 9. Dylan Heather of Sparta in 10. Jake Gelman of Aurora Christian in 11. And Blake Hale, all-stater for Robinson, is in the 13 spot. He is your sectional leader in this race. Hale trying to move up. 400 to go. 56-2 right there for Justin Hughes. Polo still in the lead in this race, but there are challengers now.
His shoulder is
75 on his shoulder
In the lead now.
six.
is lane number 6. That's Ty of Cumberland. That's the Cumberland Pirates. And now here we have into the 2. It's Cade Martins of Hayworth. And there is Blake Hale moving up into 2nd for Robinson. Hale has been an all-stater at Detweiler Park. Multiple years. He's now looking for the lead, taking on Cumberland's Ty Sutherland. And now Blake Hale into the lead for the Robinson Maroons. The 3 winners, plus the next 9, will make it to the finals. It is going to be Blake Hale, the all-stater from Robinson, at 158. And jogged it in as well, 158 at the line. Blake Hale, we'll see where the clock puts him at 157.93. Sutherland, 158.67 for the Toledo Pirates. Martins of Hayworth, the Hornets from McLean County, 3rd, 159. DeForest, Sterling Newman might be next in that line. All right, race number 2 onto the track. And this is race number 2. Again, we will announce the field after the start of the race.
And here we go. We have David Ricks of Gibson City, Mitch Sand of Port Byron, Riverdale, Drenian Martin of Shelbyville, George Gunter Jr. of Urbana University, Sam Powers, a junior from Champaign St. Thomas, Brady Payton from Mendon Unity, Max Volchenbaum from Chicago University, Newt Seidner from North Mac Virden, Nathan Costello from Braywood Reed Custer, and Walcott from Mooseheart.
Early leader's 9.
Your early leader is hip number 9. That's Brady Payton of Mendon Unity. Out to the early lead, sporting the headband and sunglasses.
9-6-5.
We have Sam Powers, Brady Payton, and David Ricks, 1, 2, and 3. Your leaders here. Then in the 4 spot is David Ricks. 59 at the bell. We have a new leader out there. That's 785. That's George Gunter Jr., a junior from Urbana University in the orange over orange. And that's Mitch Sand of Port Byron Riverdale, I believe, in 3rd. 13, pardon me, that's Walcott from Mooseheart. Taking the lead now is Walcott into 2nd, challenging for the lead. Holding him off, though, is George Gunter of Urbana. In the 3rd spot now is hip number 2. That's David Ricks, a junior. David Ricks now coming on like a ton of bricks. Here he goes. Into the lead is Ricks. Challenging Walcott is holding him off. The heat winner makes it automatically. It's 2 coming back. It's Walcott unofficially. David Ricks 2nd. George Gunter 3rd will go to the scoreboard to give us the times. That's Cott of Mooseheart, your heat winner. 157.75, 157.84 for Ricks, 159.57 for Gunter. 2 flat .71 from Costello of Braidwood. Heat 3 of the 800-meter run. Again, your record holder is Peter Callahan of Winnetka North Shore Country Day. You may recognize his name because he anchored Princeton University to the distance medley relay national championship indoor in 2013 and will be running next year at New Mexico. Kadeem Hemphill of Hales Franciscan needs to weigh in his discus. He is in flight number 1. Again, Kadeem Hemphill from Chicago Hales Franciscan. And we're underway, and competitor number 2, a sophomore from Chicago Latin, Matt Buxbaum. That's Max Buxbaum in 2, Reed Dahlstrom of Sherrard in 3, Jordan Love of Nashville. Also a sophomore, Michael Cook, a sophomore from Kewanee Weathersfield, the Boilermakers. Jackson Halsmer from Byron. Kennedy Cattleman of Pittsfield Co-op. James Lee of Peoria Christian. Andy Arens of Auburn. And from Georgetown Ridge Farm is Wyatt Avenatti. Michael Brown from Carmi White County in 13. He is your leader, Michael Brown, the junior from Carmi White County. Andy Arens is next, and Jackson Halsmer. That's Michael Cook, the sophomore, coming in the 4th position here. 57 flat at the bell here. Fairly big lead there for Michael Brown. And coming through, that's Max Buxbaum of Chicago Latin, the sophomore. Rounding out the field, the Romans of Latin. Down to backstretch, still your leader is Michael Brown. 5 and 11 making the challenge here. That's Cook, the sophomore. Arens, that's Cook in the 2nd, your sophomore here. 200 meters to go. That's number 6 is Jackson Halsmer of Byron also there now, starting to make a move. Remember, again, it's the heat winner plus the next 9 times will make it. It's still Brown, your leader. Looks like he's going to take this heat, and here comes from Byron, Jackson Halsmer. That's Halsmer on the outside, and Arens, but the sophomore is holding tough. Michael Cook, the sophomore. Brown, your winner, 157.32. Cook in 2nd, 159.49 from Kewanee. Halsmer, 159.71 in 3rd. Arens, 2 flat .1 from Auburn. That is the conclusion of the 800 meters.
4x200 meters. The record set last year by the Tuscola Warriors, 127.93. Here's your field. St. Joseph Ogden, the Spartans in 2. Seneca, the Irish in 3. Aurora Christian in 4. In the middle here will be Madison of Madison County, Metro East in 5. Cambridge from Henry County out in 6. Rushville Industry in 7 out there near Macomb, and then the Catlin will be in 8. Again, we've had a call for the 400 meters to the tent. Call 400 meters to the tent. I want to remind you that tomorrow night, if any of you are staying over from Class 1A through Friday, the race under the lights will take place tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We have opportunities in the 300 hurdles, the 1600 dash, the 400, the 800, 3200, and a steeplechase. That'll be tomorrow night at 7. Here's a field on the 4x100. We have the finalists for Saturday. They will include Piasaw Southwestern, Chicago Leo Catholic, Oregon, Erie Prophetstown, the Rock River Panthers, Sterling Newman Central will be in the middle, Eureka on the outside of Sterling, Rockford Lutheran in 7, Staunton in 8, the Flanagan Cornell team in 9. That's the 4x100. All right, in the middle here is Madison. And Rushville Industry moves forward on the stagger. Madison and then Seneca. We'll watch the middle here, but Rushville with a jump. Wellmaker now for Madison with the baton. And McGill for Madison. Next to Rushville is Cambridge. There's Rainey for Cambridge. They're holding the middle of the things with Madison here. And second place there is Rushville Industry and Cambridge. All right, here we go. Oh, Keith Thorpe for Madison. And looks like we have a white flag, though. So right now you got Madison and Cambridge. That's McCurry for Cambridge in Henry County. And anchoring from Madison says Carvel Dixon now on the anchor.
And Matt Welch for Cambridge.
And Welch for Cambridge right with him. Let's see how this straightens out. Welch for Cambridge, Carvel Dixon. That's Dixon there for Madison. And coming up is Aurora Christian.
Christian is Harold.
That's Harold. This one will go to Madison. Cambridge looks to be second. Aurora Christian third. Heat number 1 of 4 in the preliminaries, so it'd be the 4 winners and the top 5 time. Madison with the apparent win, 132. Cambridge 132.54. Here's your field in heat number 2. Anna Jonesboro, the Wildcats in 2, the Newton Eagles in 3, Taylor Ridge, Rockridge in 4, Eureka in the middle of this race, as we saw them earlier in the 4x100, Knoxville in 6, Carthage Illini West in 7, and the Chester Yellow Jackets out at 8. All on the 400 to the 10th, call on the 400 to the 10th. Coach from Carlinville to the clerk's tent. Coach from Carlinville to the clerk's tent immediately. All right, in the middle here, Brett Charlton leads off for Eureka. Charlton running strong. Outside them is Knoxville. That's Palmer running for Knoxville, the Blue Bullets.
Eureka's second runner is Schmidt.
Here's Schmigdal. He does have the baton for Eureka. And Schmigdal holding the middle.
Southwall for Rock.
Here's Chester on the outside. Southwall for Rockridge.
Chester's runner is Reinhardt.
That's Meinhardt. Reinhardt running for Chester. And we'll watch the exchange now for Eureka has the baton and away. Dan Johnson is now in front of the entire field. Johnson onto the backstretch. Everybody battles for second behind him. Johnson ready for the anchor exchange. And here is Eureka. McKee for Eureka. And outside of them, Knoxville. It's Randall for Knoxville trying to stay in there. Rockridge is Henry, and Newton moving up. This win again will go to Eureka. Followed by 6 and then 3. 6 is Knoxville, 3 is the Newton Eagles. 130-71 for the Hornets. Heat number 3 of 4 heads into the blocks. The Arcola Purple Riders will be in 2. And next door to them, also from Douglas County, the Tuscola Warriors in 3. And remember, they set the record last year. in this. Carlinville in 4, the Cavaliers in 4. Erie Prophetstown Co-op, the Rock River Panthers in the middle in 5. Oregon, the Flying Hawks will be in 6. Lena Winslow from the Wisconsin borderlands out in 7. Sparta, the Bulldogs in 8. And the Wooden Shoes in this race, Teutopolis. And we're underway. Erie Co-op, they're in the middle. Their girls took second last week in Class 1A, and their boys are out there leading in this race. That's Darius Owens with the lead for the Rock River Panthers. And watch that exchange. Here's Erie and Oregon. Erie, the red over black. There in the middle. Outside of them is Sparta. And Lena Winslow pushing forward, wanting the advantage. We'll see how the exchange goes. 3:49 for Lena Winslow, but it's still Erie. Tyler Oakley for Lena Winslow. It is still Erie. That's Bauer now with the stick. And battle behind them on the outside. I think it's Oregon in the 2 spot. And Lena behind them. And Erie again has a baton, and they're underway. It's Erie and it's Oregon. 2 running teams from the Rock River area. This is Devin Johnson for Erie. Carlinville moving to 3rd. Newman for Oregon. Here we go to the finish line. And it is Erie with the win. Devin Johnson puts it away for the Rock River Panthers. And let's look at that time, 1:30:77. 1:30:77. Let's go to heat number 4. First call 300 hurdles. First call 300 hurdles. Here's your sectional leader. And in the middle will be Newman Central Catholic with the Rude brothers again in the mix. Let's look at the rest of the field. Lane number 2, Pleasant Plains. From Sangamon County in 2, the Watseka Warriors in 3, Iroquois County. Piasaw Birds in 4, Southwestern High School in 4. Sterling is in 5. Hales Franciscan of Chicago will be in 6. Lexington, the Minuteman, in 7. Seton Academy in 8 from South Holland, and Carterville, the Lions, out in 9. And we're underway. Hales is in 6, but watch Sterling in 5. Brady Rude with the leadoff. Looks even, a bit on the outside. Seton Academy moving up, but everybody else even across the middle. That's Gardner for the Seton team from South Holland. Now we watch the middle. There is Sterling, Bittner, Mason Bittner, the senior now, and he's catching back up with Hales. So right now across the middle, this is Patrick Nelson with Mason Bittner. Bittner now with a slight lead. Let's watch the exchange. And Sterling. Nolan McGinn for Sterling, and everybody else is in trail mode. Here's Kadeem Hemphill for Hales. He's second. Hagen moving up for Piasaw there in the gold over green. And now the final handoff, Nick Rude. They're in the front of the race. And Nick Rude has it. Hales. Olgar running for Lexington. And you have Hales in second. It's Nick Rude. And for Hales, Joe Morrill trying to keep up with Nick Rude, and Piasaw will come in third. 29.91, 129.91 for Sterling. Newman Central Catholic. Chicago Hales Franciscan is second. The Piasaw Birds are third. Lexington is fourth. Watseka fifth. Seton Academy South Holland is sixth. That's heat number 4. All right, heading for the blocks. This is race number 1 of 4 in the 400 dash. Ryan Shields, Chicago Leo, set the record at 46.76 back 11 years ago. Colt Hubble of Verdon North Mac will be in 2. Alex Blickham of Mendon Unity in 3. Garrett Newman, Oregon in 4. Derek Williamson of Neoga will be in 5. Tevin Sellers of Lena Winslow in 6. Eli Larimore of the Tremont Turks in 7. Ryan Ambule of the Vandalia Vandals in 8. And Ryan Mayberry Morrison in 9. I believe we saw Ambule win earlier for Vandalia. All right, in the middle here you have Williamson and Sellers of Lena Winslow right with him. There's Neoga. And 5 is Williamson, and there's Newman of Oregon. They're in the middle. Now you've got Williamson moving up slightly. 5-6 is Williamson and Sellers. Williamson and Sellers coming around. There is Oregon on the inside. Oregon, Neoga, Lena Winslow across the middle. They're all together. Lena Winslow is Sellers. Sellers, and now Williamson comes back on Sellers. 5-6, and 5's holding on. It's going to be Neoga with the win. Williamson, Neoga, 50.52. And then Lena Winslow is second for Sellers. Newman of Oregon third. Larimore for the Tremont Turks fourth at 51.64. Here is heat number 2. Justin Daters of Tolono Unity, the Rockets in 2. Cole Johnson, St. Joseph Ogden. Arch rivals of Tolono Unity right next door in 3. Jake Gullstrand of Shabana, Indian Creek in 4. Jason Pokalski, Central A&M in the middle. Zeke Snell of Goreville in 6. Montana Balls of Dakota in 7. Brandon Gadsden of Mooseheart in 8. And DeAndre Cockerell, New Athens in 9. In the middle here you have Pokalsi of Central A&M. The Raiders winning Class 1A girls last week. And Pokalski running well. 5-4 is Gullstrand of Shabana. That still looks like A&M there in the middle. The Raiders moving up. Pokalski. And the stagger almost completely cleared now by Pokalski of A&M. He is in the clear lead. 6 coming up on the side with Zeke Snell of Goreville. Then 4 is Gullstrand of Shabana. And then 7 is Balls. But right now, you've got Snell of Goreville trying to gain on Pokalski. Snell, Pokalski. Snell just can't find the extra gear. And the win to Pokalski. 50.13, another fast race for Central A&M. Snell is second of Goreville. Shabana and Gullstrand is third. Dakota is fourth for Balls. Here's your field in heat number 3. Into the blocks, Jacob Sorrell, Liberty Co-op. In 2, Kurteri Singleton of Chicago Holy Trinity. In 3, Zach Poglioli of Mackinac, Deer Creek DMAC. In 4, John Lawrence Oneida Rova. In 5, Tim Dahl of Westmont. In 6, Kyle Blivernick of Teutopolis. In 7, Devin Johnson Erie Co-op. In 8, and Dallas Lee of the Hayworth Hornets. In 9. All right, again in the middle here, you've got Lawrence of Rova in 5. He's looking good. Dahl with him. And 3 is Kurteri Singleton of Holy Trinity. Kind of a pile there in the middle. 3, 4, 5 in the lead. 5 is Lawrence of Rova. Five, six. There's Westmont in there as well. That's Tim Dahl. It's Lawrence and Dahl. And now out on 8 is Devin Johnson. Johnson of Erie. And we've got Dahl trying to get it. The clock will sort them out. It may have been Dahl. It is Dahl with the win. 50-42, Lawrence there till the end with a 50-45. Johnson for Erie Prophetstown with a 50-57. Blivernick of T-Town next with a 51-27. And we have heat number 4. Nick Minier of Gibson City, Melvin Sibley, a freshman with a familiar name for the Falcons. Minier. In 2, Matt Bigelow, Carterville. In 3, Morgan Flynn, Williamsville. In 4, in the middle is Martell Hunter of Monmouth Roseville. Then we got Tim Hipskind of Immaculate Conception Catholic in Elmhurst. Josh Kirby, Peoria Christian in 7. He has qualified for the finals on Saturday already. Luke Smith of Waverly, the Scotties at an 8. Kyle Hagne, Sparta in 9.
On your mark.
Martell Hunter is the man in the middle. And a nice start for Josh Kirby of Peoria Christian. And we've got Morgan Flynn of Williamsville, the Bullets. So across the middle, your 2 front runners are 6 and 7. 6 and 7 is Hipskin and then Kirby. And then 5 and 4 come around, Flynn and Hunter. So big mix in the middle here as they head behind the scoreboard. 4-5. There is the Titans of Monmouth Roseville, and it is Martell Hunter. Hipskin of Immaculate Conception is going to get second. And in lane number 2, you got Minier coming up. Let's see if he can make it through for Gibson City Melvin Sibley. 48.97 for Martel Hunter of Monmouth Roseville. The Titans in the win. All right, going into the blocks, here's heat number 1. Jason Becker, Stewartson Strasburg. In 2, Logan Podowitz, Clifton Central. In 3, Bryce Holsinger of Fulton, the Steamers. In 4, Matt McCoy, Lewistown. In the middle, in 5, Steve Gualandri of Peru, St. Bede. In 6, Jared Madden of Hinkley Biggerock is out. In 7, Trent Lowry of Vienna. In 8, and Jacob Omahana of the Hayworth Hornets in 9.
And we're underway. 300-meter intermediate hurdles. State record 37:33 by Cody Wisley of Scotia, West Prairie. Our leader is Steve Gualandri. Steve Gualandri of Peru St. Bede. Matt McCoy on the inside in 5. Still Gualandre. And then on the inside there is Becker and Holesinger of Fulton. That's Holesinger of Fulton challenging for the lead down the last hurdle. We're going to go in there almost tied. Who's it going to be? It's too close. It's either Holesinger or Gualandri, lane 4 or lane 6. Too close to call from up here.
Introduce the field when we get into it.
Deming of Hillsborough 2, Montgomery Athens in 3, Crook of Gillespie 4, Tucker of Argenta in 5, 6 is Schultz from Orion, Fox from Peoria Christian, Usesi from Tolono, and Wilson of Auburn in lane number 9. Your leader is Schultz from Orion, and 5 from Argenta Oriana is Tucker, out to a fairly decent lead, but there on the inside in the green is Montgomery of Athens. That's Jake Montgomery of Athens trying to get into the top 2 here. Still your leader there is Dylan Schultz, and he's done it. Montgomery. And Tucker for third. Montgomery there with a big move at the end to get second place. We've got 40.22.
Here's your field. Riley Dries of the Teutopolis Wooden Shoes in 1. Tristan Fox, Lena Winslow in 2. Mitchell Barton, Pittsfield, the Saukees in 3. Cooper Nelson, Amboy in 4. Jason Blyven, Trenton Weskelin in 5. Caleb Harney, Pleasant Plains in 6. Michael Hammond, Farmington in 7. Jake Hooker, Timothy Christian of Elmhurst in 8. And Casey Westfield has Josh Blom in 9. In the middle is Blyven, Wesklin. Lane number 4 with a jump. That's Cooper Nelson of Amboy. And 4 still holding strong. He has the advantage of the inside. And we've got Nelson in the lead. Now 8's doing well. That is Hooker of Timothy Christian. And Hooker may get caught with, now you've got 5. Now you got Blyven. And then Blyven moves up for Trenton Wesklin. A hurdle takes Timothy Christian back, and this win is going to go to Wesklin in 5, and then 8. 8 survives, even after hitting a hurdle. Jake Hooker, the apparent second. Blyven with the win, 40.03. Hooker is second for Timothy. Then we got Hammond of Farmington in 3rd. Nelson of Amboy in 4. Here we go, heat number 4. Your state best is Peyton Holmes of Mercer County. There in the middle, we've seen him before. Clayton Strader of Arcola will be in 1. Brady Crane, Rushville Industry in 2. Landon Picato, Spring Valley Hall, the Red Devils in 3. Logan Hoffert, Bureau Valley in 4. In 5 is Joshua Wright of Chicago Leo, and he got a jump. In 6, Austin Walsh of Dwight. Austin Maps Ducoin in 8. Nick Matthews of Fairfield in 9. Coming across the middle, there is Holmes and Wright. We won 2, and we lost Holmes. So Wright now is the leader, but inside of them is Holpert, and we lost Picato. So right now you've got Holford and Walsh. 4 and 7, Holford and Walsh. It's going to go 4-7-6. Wow, brutal race there. Losing 2 runners, one of them in the lead, Peyton Holmes. Holford with the win for the Bureau Valley Storm. All right, this next is heat number 1 of 3 of the 1,600 meters. Dorian Ulrey of Port Byron, Riverdale has a 4:09:33 as the record. That's set in 2006. I will introduce the field after the start of the race. Call for the 200 dash. Call for the 200 dash. All right, in this field you got Kevin Klaus, Port Byron, Riverdale, Rock Island County. Corey Powers of Shelbyville in 3. Peter Keller, Effingham St. Anthony in 4. The Havana Ducks, Tanner Osing in 5. We got Jesse Hanna, Danville Schlarman in 6. Kenny Heaton, Sparta. Hayden Young, Paxton Buckley Loda in 9. TJ Pitcock of Byron, we saw him earlier in the 4x8. Andrew Gardewine, Effingham St. Anthony, the second bulldog in this race for St. Anthony. Connor Enley of the Tremont Turks. And leading this field is the state 1A cross-country champion Grant Nikeza of the Beecher Bobcats. So early leaders here. There's Beecher, there's Nikeza. In the outside, 11 is Gardewine of St. Anthony. 12 is Connor Enley of the Tremont Turks. Think of Tremont in the 1600. You remember Parker Thompson. That tradition continuing here with Enley. And he's just a junior. And he is sitting on the inside. And you've got into 4th place, you've got TJ Pitcock of Byron. Nikeza is headed for Florida State after an individual cross-country championship and a team cross-country championship for the Beecher Bobcats. He's trying to stay with St. Anthony's Gardewine. And up there now he's got Kevin Klaus of Port Byron, Riverdale. All right, here is Nikeza into the lead. Port Byron, there is Enley of Tremont. Now on the outside, you have a move by 10. 10 is TJ Pitcock of Byron. He's into second. Great race for just the first of the 3 preliminary races. 13, 10, 12 is Nikeza, Pitcock, Henley into second for the Turks. Gardewine holding the outside, 247 here. 5 on the outside is Tanner Osing of the Havana Ducks. Havana would be, I believe, in the white over maroon. 13, 12, 11, 5. Nikeza. 12 is Enley. 11 is Gardewine. 5 is Osing. And here we go. In a mist and slight rain conditions here now. It is Nikeza and it is Enley. With 400 to go, 320, 321. Wind and the rain picking up here. The front has turned the wind straight out of the north. It is Nikeza and Enley. Then 5, which is Osing. Then into 4th, we have 6. Which is Hanna of Schlarman. And it is still Nikeza now, 405, 406. Here he comes. Grant Nikeza heading to the win. Connor Enley, second. Tanner Osing of Havana holding the 3 spot. Jesse Hanna of the Hilltoppers in Schlarman, the win to Nikeza. 4:23:45 for Beecher. 4:26:26 Tremont. 4:29:07 Havana and Osing. Osing is the senior for the Ducks. And then Hanna of Schlarman. And the field of heat number 2 will come out onto the track and subject themselves to these conditions. Here's your field. Corey Landon, Carlinville. The Cavaliers will be in 1. Jacob Ludi. El Paso Gridley will be in 2. Madison Velchek. Decatur St. Teresa in 3. Luke Muzikowski. Chicago Hope Academy in 4. Drew Neifer of St. Joseph Ogden in 5. Andrew Sharp of the Altamont Indians in 6. Andy Ahrens of Auburn will be in 8. Jeremy Malincrot, Pittsfield Co-op in 9. Devin Clark of Roseville in 10. Jacob Silverman, Chicago, the Latin School will be in 11. Andrew Warnes, Tolono Unity in 12. Nick Hess of the High School of St. Thomas More, your leader for this section, will be in 13. And on the 83, that's Corey Landon for Carlinville. Let's see where they're at when they hit the break. 6 at the break is Andrew Sharp of Altamont, followed by Velchek of St. Teresa, and Nick Hess into second. Hess of St. Thomas More. Trying to move up on Altamont, 6:13, 8:54. 8 is our ends. 13 Hess. 5 is Neifer. 4 Muzikowski, Chicago Hope. Muzikowski actually is continuing a Ivy League pipeline. A last of 3 All-State Hope brothers headed to Brown to run versus his brothers at Columbia University. That's Muzikowski of Hope, Chicago. Right now, it's Altamont still in the lead. That's Andrew Sharp, and followed by Nick Hess.
4 on the outside. In the third.
(6:13). 4 now into third, which is Muzikowski, followed by Malincrot of Pittsfield and Neifer of St. Joseph Ogden. In with the wind at their back on the home stretch. Here we are, 2:08 with 800 to go. It is still Sharp of Altamont.
8 seconds faster than the last heat.
That's 8 seconds faster than the last heat, even with these weather conditions.
4's coming up
On the outside, Muzikowski of Chicago Hope Academy. I believe he's in 3. Hess is in second. Nick Hess gets there. Okay, the 4x200 meters. Here's your field. Lexington, Oregon, Chicago Hales Franciscan, Erie Co-op, Sterling Newman Central Catholic, Eureka, Aurora Christian, Knoxville, and Piasaw. Here's Muzikowski pushing Hess and Sharp. Now Hess trying to catch Sharp through the curve. Sharp now is being passed. For the lead is Nick Hess, and Muzikowski in second for Chicago Hope. And then 9 is Malincrot of Pittsfield. We have 400 to go, and the battle now between Hess and Muzikowski. Then Sharp is in third. And Muzikowski with Hess. Hess is holding him off. Muzikowski. It's now Hess again. Muzikowski tries to find the accelerator again in the curve. Hess holds him off. 407, 408. We're coming to the home. Here is Hess, and Hess now has the lead with the wind at his back. Muzikowski second. Altamont still third with Andrew Sharp. Here's Pittsfield to the outside. There's Malincrot. Then we got Warrens of Tolono Unity. And it's going to be Unity into third. Hess with the win, 427.45. Muzikowski, 429.82. Warrens of Unity sneaks into third with a 434.33. The freshman for Unity. Malincrot is next for Pittsfield with a 434.49. And here is heat number 3 onto the track.
And we're underway. Your field is Marcus Blair, a sophomore from Beardstown, hip number 1. Ethan Duclos from Redbud, hip number 2. Jeremy Degner, Pecatonica Co-op, hip number 3. Michael Cook, a sophomore, hip number 4 from Kewanee Weathersfield Co-op. Walcott, hip number 5 from Mooseheart. A freshman, John Davis, hip number 6 from 50 in Oakwood. Corbin Kakich, a sophomore from Fairfield Co-op in 8. Cade Martins in hip number 9 from Hayworth. Daniel Plunkett of Pleasant Plains with hip number 10. Ben Scamelhorn from Marshall in 11. Jacob Helfrich, hip number 12 from Champaign St. Thomas. Another Champaign St. Thomas. Michael Brown in 13 from Carmi, White County. That's Marcus, the sophomore, your leader. Marcus Blair of Beardstown. Marshall in second. Brown in third. That's Brown in fourth position, hip number 13. Here comes Walcott. He won his heat of the 800 earlier. He's now moved into the 4 spot. It's still Blair, Scamelhorn, Walcott. Cott still in fourth now with a sizable group behind him. Number 9 there is Cade Martins. That's Brown into the second spot now, challenging Blair for the lead here, the sophomore. He has the lead. Here comes hip number 8, Corbin Kakich from Fairfield, the sophomore. Your leader still, Michael Brown, the junior. That's Cade Martins, the junior of Hayworth, has moved into second. Number 6 there is the freshman, John Davis from Fithian. 2:13 and change at the 800-meter mark, halfway home, 2 laps to go. That's Davis into third now, the freshman, running very good race. Pushing the field from behind here. Walcott now making a move, as well as Daniel Plunkett from Pleasant Plains. It's really bunched up there. No one seems to want to take the lead here, but somebody's going to have to. Remember, we're running time here to get into the finals. Top 12 times will run Saturday. That's the freshman out in the lead here, deciding to take it on. Let's help him out a little bit, folks. It's cold, it's rainy. It's still Davis and Brown, your leaders. That's Plunkett into third. 1 lap to go. It's going to be 3:25. And as they cross the line, they start accelerating. That's the freshman, Brown. Excuse me, Davis is the freshman. Brown is the senior. That's Cade Martin's a junior now on the outside, taking the lead with 300 to go. He's decided to push the pace. Walcott on the outside. Number 10 fading a little bit. That's Dan Plunkett. Still Michael Brown. Cade Martin's your leader. We still have 6 guys up in the front. It's anybody's race there. Here comes Brown again. Brown, the junior. Looks like he's going to go all the way to the lead, the junior, but now it's on hip number 4 here. Michael Cook, a sophomore of Kewanee Weathersfield Co-op. On the outside, that's Cook, the sophomore. And the freshman, Davis. It's a freshman here. Look at him go. He's going to win the heat possibly. He's pushing Brown. It's going to appears to be Brown, Davis, and Cook. 1, 2, 3 will go to the scoreboard. Brown, your winner, 4:28.04.
And this is the 200-meter dash, first of 4 preliminary. We've had bursts of rain and wind here in the last few races through the 1600. Conditions definitely changing here, and the gun is up. Clean start. Again, in the middle here, you got Jacob Scholl of Illini West. Watch Tim Daldo of Westmont on the inside, and Miller of Shelbyville on the outside. That is Miller of Shelbyville, running very well. N5 comes up. That's Jacob Scholl. 5.68 is Morrow of Hales Franciscan. Now on the inside, you got Dahl. It looks like 5.86. Scholl, Morrow, Miller. And that's how the order's coming on to the scoreboard. Here's your field. Charvel Austin of Sparta in 2. Christian Connick of Bureau Valley in 3. Brent Albertson of Flanagan in 4. Nick Rude is in the middle of this one for Sterling Newman Central Catholic. Derek Williamson of Neoga, you saw him qualify earlier for Saturday. Neoga in 6. BJ Bailey, Braidwood Reed Custer in 7. Terrence Roby having a great day for Lutheran of Rockford at 8. Justin Morgan Ducoin in 9.
Second heat of the 1600. Who didn't show? Is that what you want? Correct.
All right, Rude is the favorite here, but he's got a lot of combinations that can challenge him. Right now is Rude with a nice jump by Connick of Bureau Valley. It's still Rude, but now on the outside you got Bailey and Roby. Here's Roby. Again, we have Roby of Rockford Lutheran is becoming the new star of this meet. The win to Roby. Rockford Lutheran, his third strong race of the day. Rude is apparently second. Roby first, 21.86, then Rude. Field, Matt Bigelow, Carterville. The Lions in 2. Nick Hedges of Catlin in 3. Carvel Dixon of Madison will be challenging Dwayne Esper of the Illinois School for the Deaf. That's 4-5. Dixon and Esper. Micah Johnson, Tolono Unity in 6. Nathan Flippinger of Mercer County in 7. Nick Hundley of Moments in 8. Austin Sikora, another Rockford Lutheran runner, out in 9. All right, lane 2 is open, so watch Dixon versus Esper. And Esper in the all yellow for ISD is being challenged by Dixon. It's Esper and Dixon, and now it is Dixon with the win. 4-5-3 is the apparent from up here. Dixon with the win for Madison, 22-43. Esper second, 22-54. Here's your field. Logan Canaday, El Dorado in 2. Corey Allen, Peoria Christian in 3. Jason Bocalsi of Moequo Central in 4. Martell Hunter of Monmouth Roseville in 5. Darius Owens of Erie in 6. Devin Laubscher, Cissna Park in 7. Drake Royal, Gibson City, Relvin Sibley in 8. Chase Riley, Patoka in 9. Good start. Again, we got Martell Hunter. Laubscher is challenging. Laubscher of Cissna Park. 5 is Martell. That's Hunter. Here's 6 trying to blast in for Erie and for Pocalcy. Everybody very close. The win again to Martell Hunter, 22:01. Then Pocalcy of Central A&M is second. In lane number 2, the Rockets Tolono Unity. In 2, the Litchfield Panthers. In 3, the Scotties of Waverly. In 4, Deer Creek Mackinac, DMAC in the middle. In 5, then Sterling Newman Central. In 6, Gibson City Melvin Sibley. The Falcons in 7, and the Robinson Maroons out in 8. All right, in the middle here for DMAC is Semenska. Brian Semenska, they're in the red, orange, and black. On the outside, you got Sterling running well. Brady Rude, the freshman, making up the stagger. They have the slight lead at the moment, but on the outside, slight disadvantage in this 3-turn stagger. And coming around the front, you have Robinson, and then Gibson City, and Rude. He is definitely at the front of the field. Rude ready to hand off. Tyler Rockwood, they got it. And Rockwood clearly in the lead as they race for the break line. Now on the inside is DMAC. That's Pogiglio for DMAC. Poglioli. Now a new second. And blasting to the lead right now. Let's check this. That's Robinson. That's Austin Week battling Newman. Newman back into the lead. Rockwood now in the lead, ready for the next exchange. Newman, there you go. This is DeForest for Newman. Newman Central Catholic in the lead on the back stretch. Robinson looks to be second, DMAC third. Schulte for Robinson, and then DMAC into second. This is Lowry. Still a ways to go to catch Newman Central Catholic. Lowry for DMAC as Newman, DeForest, and Robinson here is up on Schulte, and he's going to go to Blake Hale. All right, and there we go. So we got a new Bittner is the Sterling runner. Blake Hale for the Robinson.
DMAC is Poglio, Zach Poglio. P-O-G-I-O-L-O.
And Zach Poglioli is in third. Blake Hale trying to catch Trancoso or Mason Bittner for Newman Central. And everybody's together now. There's Blake Hale. Blake Hale, the all-state cross-country runner, in a battle with Bittner. Bittner on the inside. Blake Hale. Blake Hale has found the extra gear. Can he hold it to the end? It looks like Bittner on the inside, but Blake Hale is very close. Sterling is first. 3:28, quite the effort by Blake Hale. Yes, 2/100ths of a second separate them. Blake Hale, great anchor. They're second. 3:28.80. Here we go with race number 2. In this race, Anna Jonesboro in 2, the Chester Yellow Jackets in 3, Newton the Eagles in 4, Eureka the Hornets in the middle, followed by Mooseheart in 6, the Dwight Trojans in 7, and Immaculate Conception of Elmhurst out in 8. Coach from DMAC to the clerk's tent. Coach from DMAC, Deer Creek Mackinac, to the clerk's tent. And they're off. Eureka here in the middle wearing the white and green. Schmigdahl lead off for the Hornets. When we look at the 4x4, Eureka with a 3:26. And in lane number 3, Chester holding strong. Landon for Chester. Mooseheart, that's Jeremy Calsicum, holding even with Eureka right now. And here's Schmigdahl into the lead. Mooseheart second. Now on the outside you got Immaculate Conception and Dwight. Immaculate Conception moving up. The middle is still Eureka, and here's that exchange, very clean. Charlton in second run position now. And on the inside is Newton. Davidson, Corey Davidson running for Newton as they hit the brake line. Mooseheart, big move, looking for second. Here's Mooseheart into second now, behind Charlton and Eureka. Charlton still has the lead. Mooseheart in second, right behind, followed by the Newton Eagles in third. Then we have Dwight, Anna Jonesboro. Newton coming for second at this exchange. Mooseheart in third. O'Dunsey for Mooseheart. Johnson is the Eureka runner. Let's look at the 1,600-meter run for Saturday. We have Jesse Hanna in the finals, Walcott of Mooseheart, Luke Muzikowski of Chicago Hope Academy, Michael Koop of Weathersfield Anawan, Michael Brown, Carmi, White County, Nick Hess will go to Saturday for St. Thomas More. All right, it's still Eureka, and the lead has opened. Dan Johnson, and we go to Eureka's anchor is McKee, Austin McKee. Dylan Johnson for Newton, and now Elmwood, or Dwight, is in the 3. Michael Bennett. And on the second alley on Saturday, Cade Martins of Hayworth, Daniel Plunkett, Pleasant Plains, Tanner Osing, Havana, Connor Enley, Tremont, John Davis, the freshman from Fithian Oakwood, and Grant Ikeza leads the field for Saturday's 1,600 meters. Here is McKee of Eureka heading home for the Hornets. Newton, Dylan Johnson looks to be second. Dwight is third. Michael Bennett, the freshman, comes up. Now here is Mooseheart in the 4 spot. That's Walcott, who qualified for the mile. Caught in 4 and the 800, and he hopes to be in the 4x4.
Okay, the field for Heat 3. Lane number 2 is Carterville. Lane 3, Rushville Industry High. Lane 4, Rova from Oneida. Lane 5, Winslow from Lena. Lane 6, Aurora Christian. Lane 7, Watseka Co-op. And in lane 8, St. Joseph Ogden. Sporting their usual maroon, dark crimson color. And we're underway with a clean start. Again, we are lanes 2 through 8. 7 competitors in this heat down on the inside. That's Tyler Oakley of Lena Winslow, apparently out to the lead on his shoulder from Aurora Christian. That's Lena Winslow making up the entire stagger on Aurora, who's made up the stagger and more on everybody else too. So those two are your clear leaders here. Jake Gaiman is the leadoff for Aurora. But the others are starting to catch up now. Those two guys went out pretty fast, but here they go. Watseka on the outside and St. Joseph Ogden. And then on the inside is Rova, Oneida. 52 or so at the exchange. Zach Diaz now starting to open up a little bit of a gap there. It's Lena Winslow, Aurora Christian, and Oneida. That's Flanagan from Aurora. That's England for Oneida. Kyle England, he's a senior. He's in third spot here. Can he try to get back up into the lead group here? We've got 2, 1, and 4 running in 3 different groups. Diaz and Flanagan. Aurora Christian here is Flanagan. Here comes Oneida Roa with a big move back into it. That's England again there. 146, Lena, Rova, Aurora. Tristan Fox, that's Aurora in the second, putting on a burst as he gets the baton. But that's Schweitzel, Grant Schweitzel down the back stretch. These top three are going to come back together, I think. That's Jason Wheeler from Oneida, a sophomore, running the third leg here. Here comes a burst from Lena Winslow, trying to pull away here and get a little bit of a gap for their anchor. Tristan Fox really running hard here and pulling away nicely. Down in the second group is Industry from Rushville. That's St. Joseph Ogden there and Watsika. 238. That Tevin Sellers for Lena, a senior in the lead, and then from Aurora, that's Jonathan Harrell, a junior, and he's on him and he's by him. Wow, what a move. That's Lawrence from Oneida in the third position here. That's Jonathan Harrell, a junior from Aurora Christian. Kevin Sellers of Lena Winslow. And John Lawrence of Oneida. I think Lena Winslow is going to have a kick of his own, though. It's going to come down to the end here. He looks like he bided his time on the backstretch, and he waited. Sellers, he does it. Kevin Sellers ran patiently down the back straightaway, waited for his moment, and moved. Lena's your winner there, 327.73, 327.81 for Aurora. Rova was 329.20, 336 for Rushville.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, last race of this Class A preliminary day in the 4x400 meters. Here's your field from far southern Illinois, the Liberty Eagles. Arcola, the Purple Riders, will be in 3. The Storm of Bureau Valley in 4. In the middle, the Oregon Hawks. We've got the Cambridge Co-op from Henry County in 6. The Shelbyville Rams in 7. The Leo Lions. Chicago Leo Catholic at 8. And in 9, the Sparta Bulldogs. Off for Oregon, Trevor Otten, a freshman. And the Hawks holding strong. And teams running in pairs here as they come around the north curve in this 3-turn stagger. There's Leo and Sparta. And next across, you've got Shelbyville and Cambridge. Bureau Valley looking good. Here is Cambridge pushing the middle. And they are moving up. This is Leander of Cambridge. And now lane 4 is Bureau Valley. It's Taylor for the Storm. So now the race to the brake line. It is Bureau Valley, and Cambridge slows up Oregon, but Oregon is still blasting for the lead in front of the rail. Hazy for Oregon slides the lead on a very long move to the rail. Cambridge swings to the outside. Sullivan for Cambridge and Bureau Valley with Ryan Taylor. All right, it's Cambridge at 1:45. This is McCreary for Cambridge. And Bureau Valley in second to Scoff. And then here we have Oregon back into the 2 spot. Tommy McCormick for the Hawks. A lot of exchanges. Oregon trying now to catch up with Cambridge. Tommy McCormick running for Oregon. This is McCreary for Cambridge. Oregon edging up. Oregon even. Here we go. Oregon first. Garrett Newman for Oregon. Cambridge is second. Welch for Cambridge. Third place is Bureau Valley. Daniel Trone. The battle between Oregon into the lead. That's Newman and Welch for Cambridge. Newman and Welch, your 1-2 here as they head for the finish line. 3:18, 3:19, there's your record. Newman for Oregon, Welch for Cambridge. Third place will be Bureau Valley. That's Trone. Here comes Arcola and Shelbyville. Galvis for the Purple Riders. And Shelbyville next in. A 51-4 anchor for Newman and Oregon.